Hi traders and investors, today I'm going to talk to you about 4 stocks that I believe can compound at a plus 25% cargo over the next 10 to 20 years. Now these stocks are in their early stages and that's where we would want to stock consistent compounders because that is how you make real wealth. You could very easily make 20% cargo on a Bajaj Finance today, but that's kind of boring. Imagine if you'd invested in Bajaj Finance here. That would mean 1 lakh invested somewhere in 2013 would give you 14 lakhs per year now. That is wealth. So let's try to find some of these stocks. Now, the first firm that I like is called Phoenix Mills. The company has given us about 170% return over the last 5 years. The promoter holding is very stable. Their business is run very well. They have great expansion plans and their current operations are profitable. They have debt, but it's covered with liquid assets. This firm runs a shopping complex close to my home, which causes about a kilometer-long jam on both the days of the weekend, every weekend. Now, other properties that they have also performed very similarly. So they know how to find good properties and they know how to run them with their expansion plans, with the fact that they're not very high debt, with the fact that FIs, DIs also have a lot of focus on this stock. I feel like this stock could be a compounder. Now, it might not grow at 50% every year, but I would hold this stock for 10 years. But of course, I'm not a SEBI registered advisor, so I would recommend that you definitely talk to a financial planner and do your due diligence before you invest into the company. Now, the next firm that I like is called PNC Infra. It is in the public infrastructure space and is very well reputed in this domain. The promoters combined have about 100 years of experience, just the top 3. There is a significant FII and DII ownership, which again bodes well for the company. We know the infrastructure theme is just beginning to play out in the country, and we expect this theme to continue for at least the next decade, given that we have the right governance in the country. So while infrastructure firms are usually high debt and do not grow as fast as, let's say, an IT stock, this could be the turning point for these firms. And I would like to stay invested, at least in a small portion, and see the stock grow. It might not grow very fast initially, but this is something that I should definitely have in my portfolio. But again, consult your financial advisor. Now, the next firm that I really like is something that we've all heard of over the last few years called HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics. The company has, of course, done a brilliant job. Its exports are taking off. There are so many countries lining up to get into Tejas or their missile delivery systems and whatnot. Now, if the products hold, if HAL keeps delivering on the products that it has already been given orders for, with its order book, with its pipeline, with the pricing that HAL comes with, I don't see how this stock does not match up to some of the defense firms in the US and the way they have grown. And you can see that the chart is so similar that the odds of this theme playing out with HAL seem to be very high to me. Of course, with the Indian government being a promoter, the risk of default and everything else is quite low. It is not a high dividend paying stock, but it is essentially profitable and it is probably the biggest growth story we have in the country right now, the defensive theme. So again, a stock that I would hold for the next 10 years to see how our country finally grows it out. Finally, the stock that I am very bullish on is in the chemical space is Ether Industries. There are multiple reasons why I love this stock. The first of which being the management. Their founder and the founder's son run this company essentially. And the founder has about 30 years of experience in this field, having been the managing director of Anupam Rasayan. And his son has a PhD in the field that he's working in organic chemistry. At the same time, this firm is already profitable, has been growing at about 40% CAGR, and they have just gone into building new plants. They're going into new chemicals. Essentially, everything is in place for this firm to just blow up. Their institutional ownership is also solid. The balance sheet looks good. There are no operational issues that I can see at the moment. And the chemicals team has always given us multi-baggers, the SRFs, the Divi's Labs. So I would expect that this firm should do well going forward. And this would be my pick out of the 4 for the biggest returns. But again, I am not a registered financial advisor, so I would recommend that you do your due diligence. And if there's anything that you want me to answer relating to these firms, please feel free to drop a comment and I'd get back to that as soon as I can. Thank you so much. Until next time.